It's here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Fournette, a first down carry. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A handoff to Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Brady's saying let's go as he'll hustle him to the line. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Trying to hurry to the line on the very outskirts of field goal range. Now Leonard Fournette. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. With 1 second to go, this to send us to overtime. And the kick is good, so they avoid the shutout, but still a tough one to swallow here. They only post 3 points. And this game is overtime in a playoff game. Awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
And I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this, because knowing that the next point you give up lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive, not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit, because otherwise the offense is just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive. And they're going with some extra beef up front. They've got to have this one in overtime. It's 3rd and 1. Again, it's Edwards. And they will get the conversion on 3rd down, but the clock, a more pressing factor. And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds remaining at overtime as they've called a timeout. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff, Edwards. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 1 overtime, how about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. Third and 1, trying to keep this drive in overtime going. A big one coming up. They run once more with Edwards. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right? You don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. Now it's 2nd and 9. Now it's Edwards. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
On 2nd down now. It's Edwards. Oh, what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Edwards. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass. And hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt. It helps out your defense with field position.
The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 47 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Fournette. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now the timeout comes in with just 1 second left in overtime. This is Fournette. And down inside the 15 he goes. 1 overtime. How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this.